What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another pre-market watch list here today. Turn that down. So welcome back. Hopefully everybody had a good trading day yesterday. I had an extremely frustrating, choppy trading day. Somehow managed to pull through and resurrect myself from the dead yesterday. So yesterday was just one of those days where I think I got a little bit of FOMO, wanting to keep the green streak going, tried to hit it big, and it was just wrong. Well, not that I was wrong. I tried to get filled on my first position a couple times, couldn't get filled, so then I jumped to another stock and kind of just hopped right into a trade. But if I had gotten filled on my first few attempts on CLDR, I would have probably started my day up $2,000, $3,000 instead of down $2,600. So my trading day basically went as follows. I had, a $2,600 loss first trade. Then I think my next trade was like a $1,000 winner, and then I had like another winner, and I was down to like 500. Then I made a few more mistakes, and I was back down to like 2,800. I'm like, wow, this day is just not going well. And so then I basically called it there, and then later in the day I seen a really good setup and I nailed it, and then I was able to finish my day up $1,500. So some really choppy trading going on there. Wasn't too proud of it, but all in all, still was able to finish green. And as you guys can see right here, we'll be going for the 16th green day straight. I think I can get it. I just have to trade a lot differently than I traded yesterday, right? So anyways, we're gonna get going on this. Still loyal to the green, baby. So, Cooley, I couldn't give you an answer, right? Why I wasn't able to get filled, I'm not sure. So I can tell you this. The first 1 minute on Thinkorswim, it's always hard to get filled, and that's what I was trying to do, is buy the first 1 minute candle. And then I think I even waited to the second 1 minute candle and tried to get filled and was still having issues. So to be completely honest, I couldn't tell you why I was unable to get filled there. It was pretty frustrating, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Let's see. Yeah, AMD, super choppy, just would not give in yesterday. And that is the reason why I hate trading AMD. Some days it's good, but other than that, it's always this back and forth institutional choppy ass trading that when the pattern's there and it should break down, it doesn't. And then it fakes you out. It constantly fakes me out all the time. But I thought about it yesterday. With the amount of share size I trade, I cannot trade AMD the same way I trade most other stocks. For AMD, I thought about it, and my better approach to trading AMD myself is I'm going to have to start sizing in with small positions. Since it usually fakes you out quite a bit, I'm going to start small, add, and then when it's really starting to break down, then I'll hammer it, because if I don't, then you end up getting chopped out, or at least I do. So I'm going to change my trading plans when it comes to AMD from now on when I do trade it, because it just sucks. I hate AMD. Yeah, I know. I will iron that. I just haven't really cared to do it. But yeah, that's like fresh out of the package. That's why it's all wrinkly. Anyways, so let's get into it. I am going to let's see. Hold on one second. On days where you're waiting, hold on, let's see. On days where you're waiting for the cash from your previous trades to settle, would you still recommend trading or reduce size for practice, or just not trading at all? Well, so to answer that question about waiting for your funds to settle, my funds settle like almost instantly, right? So I don't really have to worry about like reducing size. That if you're on a margin account, you don't have to worry about that, right? That's only if you're on a cash account. So if you're on a margin account, whether your funds have settled or not, you should still have the buying power to trade as if your funds were already settled. All right. Anywho, with that being said, let me turn on some lights here. A little more bright in here. All right, guys, we're going to move over to the next screen, so do get your screen captures ready or get ready to write some things down. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So there it is. There are all the stocks that are gapping up and down for the morning. As you can see, it's more like right here. So as you can see, stocks gapping up and down that way. So just write those down. Also, we'll hang out here for a few minutes. I'll answer some other questions. Captain Kana. Do you trade lower price stocks? I do trade lower price stocks. I've been over this many times. I do trade lower price stocks. Most people don't see me trade them. And I don't usually have them on my watch list as often, because there usually is not many good low price stocks to trade. When we talk in terms of low price, we're usually talking in terms of a penny stock, right? $5, maybe $6 a share. There's usually just not many good lower priced penny stocks to trade on any given day. When there is, I will mention them or I will trade them. But for the most part, there's usually not a massive good list of low priced penny stocks to trade. And the penny stock market really picks up in the wintertime. Throughout summer, it's usually a lot slower. So do know that come winter, we'll probably have more penny stocks on the watch list because it's usually when penny stocks pick up. Tesla now. Let's see what's going on with Tesla. Yikes, look at that. Getting crushed. Yeah, I mean, I honestly said that not too long ago. Tesla was going down, but it's all good. Anywho, so as far as low price stocks, come wintertime, we should have some more of them. Yeah, Tesla's getting wild right now. I have traded options. I have traded BABA. Why did marijuana stocks drop? Honestly, I couldn't tell you if there was news on why they dropped, but I can tell you right now that all of the marijuana stocks were overpriced and overpumped for the past couple weeks. So whether or not they fell because of news or they fell just on regular pullbacks, it was well needed. It should have happened, all right? How many shares is a full order for you, and when do you do half? That is Trader Doc. It's an impossible question. So like if I'm trading Tesla, you know, a higher price stock, full could be 500, 600, 700, maybe even 1,000 shares. All right, well, no, on Tesla, I'd never get 1,000 shares. I apologize. So like on Tesla, max size for me is going to be around like 300 or 400. You know, anything that's in like the $300 area, I'm usually like max size is 300 to 400. You know, if it was a penny stock, it was $1. Hell, I could buy 40,000 shares if I wanted to. So it just all depends on the price of the stock and if I like it or not. Like yesterday, I traded a couple times. I traded 6,000 shares on ARWR. No, I did that. Yeah, I did that twice. I traded 6,000 shares on ARWR. That's the one that I lost money on, and then that's the one that I made the money back on to basically put me back green on the day. So it all kind of depends. So anyways, we're going to flip over screens here. We're going to get going. So just give me just a quick second here. All right. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So the first stock on the watch list is not Tesla, but we'll talk about that one a little bit. So today is simply going to be a complete earnings day. Today is going to be all... Yeah, hold on. Today's going to be all earnings, okay? So first one on the list will be, we'll talk about will be OKTA. Okay, so OKTA earnings play. All right, so as you can see, earnings play. So after hours, it went from down here all the way to up here. So it had a nice, what was that, from like a low of 61 to 71, so about a $10 push to the upside. Right now, it currently has resistance at $70 pre-market. Okay. So for me personally, OKTA, if you look at the earnings report, they had a really good, from what it sounds like, they had a pretty good earnings report. But regardless of whether the earnings report looks good or it's bad, we've seen stocks completely go the opposite of what we thought would happen on earnings, especially this year. So either way, I'm still bullish, definitely bullish on OKTA today. Pretty much every stock I have on the watch list today is all long biased, right? So for those of you that are always like, oh, you're always short biased, you're always shorting stocks. Yeah, I'm always shorting stocks when I'm short biased on stocks. But when I'm long bias, I'm going to be long bias on them. It's not that I only short. I only play things I see value in. And if the value of the stocks that I'm trading are going to be to the downside that day, then we'll be shorting. right? And then if the value of the stocks that I'm trading I see is upside, then I'll be long on them, right? So it's all based on what is the market giving me today. It's not that I aim to only short, and it's not that I aim to only long, it's not that I aim to only trade high price stocks and not penny stocks. I only trade in what I see the market is providing value for me. So if the market provides good stocks to long, I'll be long. If they provide good stocks to short, I'll be short. If they provide good penny stocks, then I'll look at trading the penny stocks, right? So it's all about what the market's offering you. And today, to me, it seems like the market's going to be offering us some good long plays in terms of these earnings plays, okay? So looking at the yearly chart on OKTA, do note, right? I'm going to circle these days. All right, look at this day here. That big, oh, that's kind of bad. Hold on. Look at this big red candle here on OKTA. Look at this big red. Oh, I need to go back a little bit further. Excuse me. Hold on. Yeah, or you know, just disregard. We'll just pay attention to this one. Okay. So look at this big red candle here. That was the last time OKTA had earnings, and it moved from a high of like 62 to a low of 50. So it moved $12 a share on the last earnings day. So that tells me that this thing has the possibility to move a lot of dollars per share in a day, which means we can make a decent amount of money if it goes in our favor, right? So today I will be watching OKTA long only if it can get up and over $70. If I start to feel it's turning bullish and it's breaking over $70 in a manner that I like, then I can justify taking this long. Right now, OKTA is into a 52-week high, okay? So if it's into a 52-week high, you should go by each dollar mark as a resistance level. So I would mark off the 52-week high or the pre-market high at $71.54. $71.54 is the pre-market high. If OKTA pops up, it might see resistance at $71.54 and pull back from there. All right. Personally, I would really like to see, I mean, it's a big gap. I really, it's hard to say exactly, but I don't like longing OKTA where it's at right now because the stock has already moved from 59 to 71, so it's already moved about $10 a share overnight, which is big. So I'm expecting we're probably going to see like a panic wash or a sell-off out of the gates initially, and then I think we're going to see it start coming back down and dropping lower to around, let's see. Ooh, that's a 5-minute chart. Yeah. I mean, personally, I think it's possible that if this thing had a really big wash, we could see it drop all the way out to even $64 with a big wash, right? I mean, this one I think is actually going to be a little tricky to trade today. I'm still long bias on it, but personally, I want to see it kind of drop and test either $66, $67, $68, and see how it reacts. I want to see it actually pull back first out of the gates, see how it reacts, and then look for a dip buy, right? That's kind of how I'm anticipating OKTA to trade, okay? So here's the deal. Like over 70, which is the pre-market resistance, could be a good long, but I want to see it pull back. So here's the thing. If it's going to be a gap and go where it's just gapped, holds, and then runs, it's going to break out over 70. But it's already up so high that I fear that even the breakout over 70 is just going to result in a quick pop and fail, right? So personally, I want to see it pull back to like 68, 67s for a dip buy and then long. That's kind of where I'm looking for that. All right, next one on the list is going to be, we'll talk about 5 and below, FIVE. We're going to have to speed this up too. All right, so FIVE, let's look at this yearly chart. If you look at the yearly chart, the last time 5 and below gapped up on earnings, it ran $5 per share on the day. So I would expect that it could probably run about another $5 a share today. So as you can see, it's trending up. It's just going and going and going and going. This makes me scared to long it now. At this point, I'm no longer going to be long bias out of the gates. I'm actually going to be short bias out of the gates. Not necessarily that I want to short it. But when stocks just kind of move all the way and just kind of keep pushing up and up and up and up and up pre-market, they tend to fail out of the gates and have a sell-off. So what I would do for 5 and below is really just watch it for a pullback to the previous pivot point, which would be at 128.87, and then even the support it has at 128, right? So really, I would be looking for entries on a dip off of any of the previous high pops is really what I would do. That's it. And then watch 5 and below for every dollar mark as a resistance. So 5 and below, I am long bias on, but maybe a little bit kind of short bias on a pullback initially out of the gates for 5 and below. All right, next one on the list is PANW. So PANW, it's a higher price stock, $237. It had earnings today, or well, yesterday after hours. It's gapping up as well. This one as well had pretty good earnings. Pretty much all the stocks that I'm mentioning are earnings plays today, and they all had fairly good earnings reports, right? So anyways, PANW, it's moving higher. It doesn't have all that great of volume right now, so you might want to just kind of be patient with this one. I can already tell you right now the spread on PANW is probably going to be pretty big. Right now, PANW has a spread of 50 cents. Actually, it's 49 cents to be exact, but who's counting that 1 penny? All right, so PANW has a spread right now of 50 cents. That might tighten up a bit when the market opens, but for right now, I will be watching this stock long biased. Now, if we look back at a yearly chart, if you look at the last couple earnings days on PANW, you can see it gapped up and it had a day where it ran from 172 to 179. So that was a $7 a share move. Then the earnings before that, it moved about $10. So this thing can move pretty big values. So I will be watching this long for a test of the 237 mark. Now do note that a lot of these earnings plays we've seen this past earnings season have been kind of funky. Even stocks that have good earnings plays or companies that have good earnings plays have still gone extremely red, right? And then even the ones that have had bad earnings or seemed bad have still done pretty good on the day and went green. So PANW is not my favorite. My favorite is OKTA, 5 and below, and then PANW and AVGO are kind of the back burners. So I would honestly just watch PANW for a long if it can hold above 234. If PANW can hold above 234, I'd see it as a long bias trade. Yeah, Tesla, you're absolutely right. 5 and below crushed earnings. You're exactly right about that. Now, next one on the list is AVGO. Oh, yikes. Look at that. So AVGO to me was kind of a long play earlier, but if you look at their earnings report, it's kind of like it sounds good, but it's not all that great. So it's kind of wishy-washy. And that's what I said earlier is AVGO, it sounds like it had good earnings, but there's a lot of like intermixed random shit in their earnings that to me kind of just sounded like a disguise. And in either way, it just kind of seemed iffy. And as you can see, it's starting to dump extremely hard right now. So this could be a sign that maybe it's going to have a big red day. So do watch AVGO. At this point, I have no clue what it wants to do either, right? It looks like it wants to go down, but it already gapped up. So we just kind of say, watch AVGO if you want to trade it. Next one is ARWR. So ARWR, if you guys are familiar, this is the one I ended up getting absolutely crushed on yesterday. Yeah, such a sad day. Anyways, so ARWR is the one I got crushed on yesterday. This thing has pretty good range, so you can usually make a pretty good amount of money. It does have a spread of about 10 to 15 to 20 cents at any given time, so the spread difference will be kind of hard for you to maybe manage. But you can see it's kind of holding up pre-market. It had a nice bull run yesterday, so I can tell you right now it's up from $13 to $19 or $20 a day. That's $7 a share that it's gone up. That means that there's a lot of short sellers now that are kind of starting to focus on the stock, looking to short it, which could also lead to a secondary run today. So I think we actually might see a continuation run on ARWR to the long side today. before it actually starts pulling back. It had some good news. It's a therapeutics company or pharmaceutical company. Had some pretty good news about something. I didn't really care to read it too much. All I had to know that it was good news. And it started running yesterday. So I would say ARWR is going to be another good one to watch, possibly long. If it were long, it'd have to be up and over $20 and $20 and like 35 or $20.50 for me to like it as a long play. All right. So that is all I have for you today. Again, we had to speed it up there right at the end, or else it just would have took us forever to get through the earnings and all the stocks on the watch list today. All right. Let's see. Oh, I didn't have time to cover Tesla, but watch Tesla. Since Tesla is just getting crushed right now, it means Tesla's going to have a volatile day where you could see a nice short play. You'll be able to catch nice bounces. It's going to be volatile, so keep it on watch. Excuse me. So everything Apple's pro, you never want to buy earnings before the earning, but before it comes out, you always trade them on the earnings days. And I would just say you're probably looking at the wrong earnings, because I could not say the same. There are stocks that have earnings that don't do much on the day. You're right. And then there's stocks that have earnings and they end up having phenomenal days and they go up all day, or they have a short play all day, right? So it really just, it's more practice. You just need more practice is all you're really looking for at this point. KJ, as far as any lower price stocks to trade today, nothing on my watch list. There hasn't been any lower price stock that's hit my radar that I think is good. The only time I will be mentioning a low priced or like a penny stock is if in fact I see strong conviction that that will be a good trader for the day. Nothing about penny stocks today. And the boss, I will tell you right now, I mean, I'm an experienced trader. I can tell you right now, your best bet is to not trade penny stocks when you first start out. Forget about making money. That's the biggest problem with newer traders coming in. They go, well, where's the low price stocks where I can make money? It's not where you can make money. Since you just started, your job is to learn the market ins and outs while you save more money and practice paper trading first. You will find more success trading a higher price stock than you will a lower price stock. When you can successfully trade higher price stocks and show yourself that you can actually win, then you can then start to think about trading a low priced penny stock. Low priced penny stocks with the volatility are a game for very experienced traders. If you're not experienced at trading, your success rate in trading penny stocks will drop dramatically. So in terms of doing this for a living, becoming successful and doing it the right way, I will give you the best advice that any of us as traders will give you, is that you should focus on paper trading for a year plus when you first start trading. And you should focus on higher price stocks. When you can prove to yourself you can successfully trade a higher price stock, at that point you can then start to think about trading a low priced penny stock. Do not let the thought of accumulating money get to your head and make you dial in on low price stocks, okay? There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the success rate is much harder to come by when you're first starting to try and trade those. And I will promise you, the information I just gave you is usually information nobody else will tell you. I don't know why, but anyways, that is the correct way to take trading serious, all right? And other than that, guys, I have to go get back to my private group. So thank you guys once again for tuning in, and I will see you for the video later today, and then of course on Monday or whatever else happens in this world. All right, guys, take care. Have a green day, and I'll see you guys a little bit later.